Yo, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the village. To start things off today, I want to do something a little bit different. A couple of days ago, I got a comment on one of my videos from a longtime subscriber of mine, and he just said, "Hey Jazzy, would you be down to give me a shout out?" And like I said, he is a longtime subscriber of the channel, been around since like the very beginning. So of course I was down to give him a shout out. But not only do I want to give him a shout out, I actually want to take it one step further. So that is what we are going to get started on today. Now, you guys might be a little confused, but don't worry, I will explain. If we come down here to the trading hall and take a left, I've started digging out what I'm going to call the subscriber room. Yes, I know, that's an awful name. I can't think of anything better at the moment. So if you guys have any better suggestions, please leave a comment down below. But basically, what I'm trying to do is I want to bring my subscribers into the village. Kind of. Let's grab this armor stand, all this armor. We're going to throw the diamond armor onto the armor stand, and then right in front, we're going to place a sign. And on the sign, I want to put the name of one of my subscribers / supporters here of the village. So for example, on this first one, we're going to put Fumetsu Sama. If I just completely butchered the pronunciation of that, my apologies. We're gonna call him Sama. He was actually the one who a couple days ago asked me if I could give him a shout out, and honestly was the one who inspired this whole idea. But now he's got his own statue of sorts, and he will forever live on here at the village. Now, obviously, we're gonna take it down at the moment because this room, little unfinished. But I do have everything we're gonna need for this room right here in this chest, so I guess it's time to do some digging. Oh man, we really need to go get a beacon soon. Definitely throwing a beacon on our to-do list. But regardless, this should be perfect. I actually spent a decent amount of time in a creative world just coming up with different ideas for this room, mostly for the floor, I gotta be honest, because I didn't want this room to look super boring, and if we just had one block for the entire floor, that would look awful. With that being said, the floor design I came up with is a little, how do I say it? It kind of hurts my head to put together. It took me a while to come up with it, and it's probably going to take me a little bit to recreate it in here, even though I've already built it once. But even though it's going to be a bit of a struggle, I think it's going to be worth it. Well, turns out I suck at counting. I made this room too big, but that's okay, easy fix. Okay guys, check this out. Obviously, it looks a little strange with the walls being incomplete and there being such a hard cutoff right there. But don't worry about that. Don't look at that. Just look at the floor. How sweet is that? For reals though, I have never done anything like this before, and I am really happy with how it turned out. I was actually inspired by Impulse SV over on the Hermitcraft server, if you guys have heard of him. He, in his storage room, built this really crazy fancy floor, and I was like, yo, I kind of want one of those at the village. And now we got one. But it's time to get some walls in place now and get this room looking a little bit more complete. Yep. This is my new favorite room in the entire village. I'm pretty sure it's just because of the floor, to be honest with you guys, but this room turned out better than I had imagined it was going to. No lie. Obviously, minus the ceiling. I haven't even really started to think about that yet. But for reals, I am really happy with this. But with this room mostly finished up, it is time to get our friend Sama into his rightful place on the wall. Boom and boom. There we go. Sama, my friend, welcome to the village. But real quick, guys, I do want to just take a moment and actually give Fumetsu Sama a proper shout out here. Hopefully, again, I am pronouncing that correctly. But for reals, I just want to say thank you, dude. You have been around since the very beginning. You've commented on all my videos. You've just always been super supportive, and I really appreciate that. So for that, I want to say thank you. He does actually have his own YouTube channel as well, so be sure to go check him out. Let him know I sent you over there. If you have any trouble finding his channel, just head down to the comments. I'm sure he's down there. He always is. But again, thank you, man. I really appreciate you. Keep being awesome. With that being said, if you guys would like to join Sama here and get your own name on the wall, leave a comment down below. I really want to fill up this entire room and just kind of have this as kind of like a hangout room, I guess, where I can just hang out with all of you guys. Maybe we'll do some Q&As in here, something like that. I will admit I got a little ambitious with the size of this room because there's like 20 spots in here. And Sama's really the only person I know who's going to go in here at the moment. But we'll get there one day. I'm really excited about where this project can go. I feel like it has a lot of potential, and I gotta say thanks to Sama, because if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have even thought of this. You know, I really do have a bad habit of not finishing projects. Like, I get the project to a really good point where it's functional and it does what it's supposed to do, but then I don't finish it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I'm gonna finish this today. I've got much more important things to do, but it's just something I've noticed. Like, we still don't have a ceiling in here. We now don't have a ceiling in here. The iron farm still doesn't have a proper storage system. And even the creeper farm, I haven't touched this thing since the day we built it. And I mean, it's been working great. It gives us a good amount of gunpowder, so I'm not complaining. I'm just saying it could use some love. With that being said, I really want to try and finish some of the projects that we've started and just left unfinished. Now, I totally could finish the project we started today, which would make sense, but I'm not going to do that. Instead, I want to work on the iron farm. I've got some ideas on what I want the storage system to look like and everything like that. It's nothing super crazy, but it'll look a lot better than this, I'll tell you that. This was one of the very first farms we built at the village, and it's just been a bit of an eyesore ever since. I mean, it was never meant to look good by any means, but it really doesn't look good. I'm not so much worried about up there. Up there's gonna stay how it is. I'm more focused on down here. Luckily, we don't need a super crazy storage system for this farm. It's not crazy fast by any means. If we look here, we've only got about 2.5 double chests full of iron. I guess 5 chests. And don't get me wrong, we've used a ton of iron over at the trading hall to get emeralds and whatnot. But, I mean, if we ever fill up the storage system I'm planning on building, I'll probably just turn the iron farm off, because I don't honestly know what we're going to do with that much iron. I did pretty much collect everything we're going to need for this build, and I put it all in a shulker box somewhere. Ah, there it is. In here, we got all the goodies. We got our smooth quartz, we got some gray concrete, we got some blue terracotta, which, by the way, I haven't told you guys, I had to go out and find a mesa biome in between episodes, and I think I traveled 18,000 blocks until I found a mesa biome. 18,000 was ridiculous. Oh yeah, and I died on the way back, so all my equipment was sitting at like 12,000, negative 13,000 or something. But luckily, I was able to get back to the village, grab another elytra, and go out and collect everything, but it was a rough time. But this should hopefully be enough for what we are going to be building. So let's get started. First things first, let's just get rid of all these extra blocks laying around here. And then one thing, I'm trying to think here, we're gonna have to like turn off the iron farm, but I'm not exactly sure how to do that. I guess I'll just think about it while I get rid of some of these blocks. Okay, so I came up with an idea. I'm not sure how good of an idea it really is, but I guess we'll see. Let's get rid of the lava. Oh, maybe I should leave that there for a second. Yeah, I'm going to leave that there for a sec. But then I'm just going to build up a little bit, and I'm just going to build a platform above it and let all the iron golems land on top of it. I'm not sure how good of an idea this really is, but it's what we're going with. Yeah, that should work, right? Oh, I guess we're going to have to move all this iron too. Well, chop chop, oh, well, looks like our cover-up plan didn't work too well. Yeah, no, this really didn't work at all. Oh wow, they're just like everywhere. Oh, this is not good. All right, well, I came up with a new genius plan that it cannot fail. There's no way this could fail. Like, how could this fail? However, we do have a bit of a golem issue, and I think we need to clean that up. All right, well, all the iron golems have mysteriously disappeared, except for that guy. He doesn't know what's going on, honestly. The first thing I want to build is the actual collection system up here, and then we'll kind of build up the building around it. So let's tear down what we got and let's restart. Okay, so I lied. We're not going to build the killing chamber first. I actually went ahead, put all the chests in place first because we have to run our hopper lines from the chests to the killing chamber, not the other way around. So I just thought this would be a little bit easier. As you guys can see, this is all the chests we're going to use. Not a ton of chests, quite a few, don't get me wrong. But I mean, if we had all of these filled up with iron, we'd be set. Like, we wouldn't need more iron than that. But with this finished, let's actually go ahead and start working on the killing chamber. That is already looking so much better. I really like the quartz compared to the deep slate we had in there before. It really makes it pop, look a lot better. But let's go ahead, and the killing chamber's all set up, and it's all connected to the chest. So the storage system is ready to go. We just don't have the building yet. So let's actually go ahead and try and get rid of this little platform up here, and I don't know how this is gonna go. This may have been the worst idea ever. So what's the best way to do this? Maybe, should we just dig out the middle of this? I wonder what's gonna happen if we do that. Let's see. Oh man, oh man. This is hilarious. Let's get rid of some more of these and see what happens. Hey, there we go. There we Oh. We have so many iron golems right now. Well, hey, at least with the sun going down, I'm certainly not worried about the mobs. This is too good. This is too good. We got their little temporary chamber up there completely taken care of. And as much as I love the extra security around the village, I think it's time for all these iron golems to mysteriously disappear again. Wow, there sure is a lot of random iron laying around here. You know what? I don't know what harm the iron golems are really going to cause right now. Clearly, they still spawn. So I think for right now, I'm just going to leave them because these boys is hard to kill. After that little adventure, we already got about a stack and a half of iron in this system. And plus, we got all the iron over there we still need to throw into here. But what we don't have is a building. Now, for the majority of this building, it is going to be made out of smooth quartz blocks, but I also want to add a good amount of the blue terracotta, which is actually purple. So let's grab a couple stacks of each and let's just start building. Okay, so far, this is looking pretty good. I went into a creative test world and just tried to put some ideas together, and I came up with something I liked, so I'm trying to copy that for the most part, making little changes here and there. But so far, this is looking good. And now, with a proper entrance, this is looking pretty sweet. I really like this. It kind of looks like a face, actually. If these are his eyebrows, right? You see his eyes right there. And then there's his mouth. He's just screaming. He's like, oh. This is now the second time I've run out of stained glass panes. And I don't know who did the calculations before we started building this, but they need to get it together. Added in a little balcony up around the top there, which I kind of think makes the building look a little more complete. I really like that. And with that, the front is honestly pretty much done. At this point, I think we need to start focusing on covering up this mess. This back section, I really don't have much of a plan for other than just to cover everything up. So I guess I'm just going to start placing some blocks and see what looks good. Well, I tell you what, it certainly wouldn't win any awards, except maybe a participation ribbon or something like that. But I'm happy with it. I think it looks good. It looks way better than it did, that's for sure. Every time I walk in here, I feel like I'm getting eaten by an iron monster. Nom nom nom. I almost want to make the floor in here red so it looks like it's a tongue. Let's not do that. But we're definitely not leaving it as dirt. I had originally planned on making the floor the gray glazed terracotta, but after making the floor in the subscriber room, I think we can do a little bit better than that. Don't have much of a plan here, but luckily, there's not much floor, so it shouldn't be too hard. Just to see what it looked like, I threw a bunch of calcite in here that I had left over from the sub room, and honestly, it's kind of a vibe. I definitely think we could do a little bit better, spruce it up a little bit, but I mean, it doesn't look too bad. Huh? Yeah, no. That looks pretty bad. Wow, these just keep getting worse. I don't even know what this is. That's a little bit better. After some debate, I decided not to go with the calcite on the inside of the building. Instead, I think we're going to use it on the outside. I still don't know though, honestly. I thought it looked really good on the inside. Let me know down in the comments what you guys are thinking. Currently, we got this floor in here. Isn't my favorite, but for now it'll work. I also crafted up some lanterns, replaced all the torches, got a chest in here, so just for some extra storage we can turn the iron into iron blocks and throw it in there. And then I also changed up the ceiling a little bit, just made it a little more interesting. But as far as the interior goes, I think that is gonna just about do it. The last thing I feel like this build really needs is some landscaping, or some terraforming I should say, around the outside of the building. just to make it feel like it belongs a little bit more. It kind of stands out right now, and this building doesn't really seem like it belongs here. One of the ideas I had for this area was custom trees. Now, when I say trees, I'm not talking about no ordinary trees. I want to make iron trees. Now, yes, I know this is a pretty pathetic excuse for a tree, but you guys get the idea. I might actually have to look up some videos on how to make a decent looking tree, because I knew this wasn't going to be the greatest looking tree ever, but I mean, geez, it looks like a giant green lollipop. Giant lollipops aside though, I want to grab some moss and actually replace all the grass around this building. I'm not sure how much that's going to do to help this building fit in a little bit more. I just like the color of moss more than I do this grass. I actually only have 2 moss blocks, but I have a lot of bone meal, so we should be good. Actually, speaking of bone meal, we should put some white flowers around this building. That'd look good. So I'm pretty sure if we just place a moss block and then bone meal it. Oh yeah, that worked well. I like that. Probably gonna get rid of a lot of the grass, or actually, I don't know. It kind of looked better with it. Huh. I guess I'll play around with it. Okay, those 2 blocks of moss and that stack of bone meal changed this entire build. I am absolutely in love with this. This looks so cool. And actually, while doing this, I came up with a bit of an idea to get rid of our giant lollipop. Instead of trying to build our own custom trees, why don't we just bone meal some of these azaleas and then replace the logs with iron? Now, obviously, we can't get rid of all the logs or the leaves are going to start to disappear, but if we left the log right in the very middle and then just did the trunk out of iron, boom. Custom trees. See, look at that. You can't even tell. And now we got a whole bunch of them. I went a little bit ham. I may have put too many trees in here, but I was just having fun. I got a little carried away. We might have to do a little bit of tree trimming at some point, but for right now, I'm just so happy with how this looks. This place feels so much more alive than it did before. I'm so happy. Oh, I just noticed this tree right here kind of blocks the whole face vibe we had going on, yo. That's not cool. But for reals, I was honestly kind of nervous about terraforming this area. I don't do much terraforming, so I didn't know how it was going to look. But luckily, moss came in clutch. I'm honestly thinking we might have to get a bunch of bone meal together at some point and just like moss the entire village up. Because now that we have this section right here, the rest of the village is kind of looking a little boring. That's definitely a project for a different day though. But as far as the iron storage goes, I'd have to say it is complete and it is looking pretty sweet. Bars. But with this project all finished up, there is something I want to show you guys and something I want to try that I have never tried before. So I popped through into the Nether here, and as you guys can see, a couple days ago, I built a staircase going up to the bedrock ceiling. You might be able to see where I'm going with this, but I want to get on the roof. Now, in all honesty, I've already been on the Nether roof, as you guys can probably tell by this ladder being here, but the only way to get up there is to come up to the very top, aim an ender pearl right at this corner, and throw it. And then you can kind of jump through onto the Nether roof. This is one of the greatest things ever, because not only can we build like a gold farm up here and have really fast spawn rates, but we can also build our Nether highways up here without having to dig through netherrack and bridge out over lava and everything. The Nether just becomes way safer up here. Like I said, I have already been up here, hence the reason there's a portal up here. I built this just to make sure we didn't get trapped up here. We have a way back to the village. But the hard part is getting here, because we have to use an ender pearl to get here every single time. Eventually, I do want to get rid of the portal underneath the bedrock and make this like the main hub of the Nether, but I don't want to completely lock us out of the main part of the Nether, because we're still going to have to go there to get quartz, get ancient debris, go to the Nether fortress, and things like that. So what that means is we need to try and break some bedrock. That's right, we need to break the blocks that you literally can't break. I've done a little bit of research. Shout out to Mysticat. I don't know if he's the one who originally came up with this idea, but that's the video I watched on how to break bedrock. Obviously, you can't just mine bedrock, but you can break it with pistons and TNT. You only need 2 pistons and 2 TNT, but I've never done this before, and it doesn't look super easy, so I have a feeling it's going to take us a few tries. With that being said, I totally just realized I need a block of obsidian, and I did not bring one. Oh, hey, you know what? There's some extra obsidian right here. I'll just take one of these corners. That'll work. Luckily, we do only need to break 1 block, because the section where we came up through is only 1 block thick. So once we break that block, we're set. And that block is right here. This is literally the whole setup for this. We just need to put our 2 pieces of TNT here and here, but I'm not gonna do that yet because I don't want to blow myself up. But like I said, I can't fully explain this, but basically we activate the TNT and then we go under here like this, and then we try to place, this piston's gonna extend when we activate the lever, and then we try to place a piston basically under this lever right before it explodes. Like I said, really confusing. I don't know. I watched a video on it, so we're gonna try and make it work. Well, let's go ahead and let's give it a shot. What could go wrong? Well, that already failed. I guess I left the lever in the activated position, so when I placed the TNT, it just lit it up immediately. Take number 2. Here goes nothing. Oh, no, 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 no. Take 3. So last time I panicked and I didn't get close enough to the trapdoor to like lay underneath it. So this time I'm gonna get closer. Okay, here we go. Oh. Did that work? I think that's placed the wrong way. Yeah. Okay, let's try again. That time we did not get our piston placed in the proper orientation. I don't think I had my cursor close enough to that corner. Take 4. I don't get any less nervous the more I do this. Let's go. Okay, we got the piston in the right direction. Let's see. Oh, it didn't work. I thought for sure that was it. Oh, man. Okay, so it turns out I was wrong. The piston does actually need to be facing up after the TNT explodes. So we actually got it right 2 tries ago. So I'm not sure exactly why it didn't work, but I guess we should just try again. Take 5. Okay, that time I just hit the wrong button and completely failed. Take 6. I forgot to put a piston in my hand, and I just started to eat food. Okay, take 7. Almost out of TNT at this point. Man, I don't know what's going on. My piston just keeps going that way. I'm honestly a little confused. I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong here. Well, I got 3 more TNT, so I guess we might as well try one more time, but I don't see how this is gonna go any different than it already has. I think this is take 8 at this point. Oh, okay. Our piston's facing the right direction. Did that work? It did! It worked! Yeah, we're getting attacked now, but it worked! Well, I honestly don't know what I was doing wrong those first times, except for the obvious attempts where I was the issue. But none of that matters now. We got a hole in the bedrock. Check it out. There's our ladder. We can come up to the roof whenever we please now. Oh, this is so great. I thought for sure this wasn't gonna work. Now, I really don't want to go down there because I keep seeing piglins. And I can hear a whole bunch of them down there. So for now, I think we're going to take the safe way home. But this is really exciting. No longer having to ender pearl through the bedrock. And with just enough TNT to spare. But unfortunately, that is going to wrap things up for us here today, guys. I thought it was only right to end things here in our brand new iron forest. I absolutely love this part of the village now. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you did enjoy the video. And don't forget, if you would like to join Sama up on the wall in the sub room back behind the iron storage, leave a comment down below and we'll get you up there. Until the next time, stay safe, my friends. I'll just be here, admiring my new iron trees.